Hi guys, welcome back to the Home and Homestead. If you're new to the channel, I'm Rebecca. Today we're going to be doing some freeze drying. We're going to do some freeze-dried candy of freeze-dried Skittles. Skittles are a hard-shelled fruit candy and they're really tart and delicious on their own. But when you freeze-dry them, they puff up and they have a really cute look to them and they're a fun treat to have. So let's head over to the Harvest Right freeze dryer and get the settings put in so that we can create our freeze-dried Skittles. Alright, so here I have my Medium Pro Harvest Right freeze dryer with the pump off to the side here. If you're going to be doing any freeze-dried candy, you just want to make sure that the software on your freeze dryer is version 5.x.19 or higher. I have version 5.4, so that should be just fine. Now we're going to want to set up the freeze dryer for the candy making settings. So what we'll do is hit Customize, and I like the initial freeze to be 0 when I do candy. I keep the extra freeze time at default. The key part here is the dry temp and the extra dry time. So for dry temp, you want between 130 and 150. I find 140 works very well. And for extra dry time, you can do between 2 to 3 hours, and I think 3 hours works well for Skittles. So I will save that. And now it shows that it's in high temperature mode. Next I will press start and it'll go into a prep phase, and that lasts for 15 minutes, and that's a great time to get whatever you're going to be freeze drying prepared onto the trays. So now we'll press start. So now we can get our Skittles all laid out onto our trays. I have the Medium Pro, so I have 5 trays here. I'll be using the original flavored Skittles. And I like to try to make sure I have a nice evenly distributed amount on each of the trays. So I use a measuring cup. This is a 1 cup. I start by putting 1 cup on. This is a 3-pound, approximately 3-pound bag of Skittles. I just kind of spread them out onto the trays so they're slightly more evenly placed. Now I do not use parchment paper when I do candy such as Skittles, so these can go into the freeze dryer once it finishes that 15-minute vacuum cooling step. So now this is all prepped and ready to go into the freeze dryer. Alright, so that 15-minute timer has elapsed, so now we have 3 things that we need to do. 1, we need to turn the candy process on. 2, we need to load our trays, and 3, we need to close the drain valve. So open the door. We'll get our Skittles loaded here. Double turn the knob to shut it. And then to close the drain valve, currently it's parallel. Now we'll just turn the valve perpendicular. Now press continue. And we want to warm the trays, so I'll hit start. And the system will begin to heat the trays to that programmed temperature of 140 degrees. Once it reaches 140 degrees, then it will do the time that is programmed here, which is 1 minute. If you want to increase the minutes, the longer time you have in this phase of the cycle, the bigger your candy is going to puff up. I'm just going to leave it at the 1 minute, and that should give us a nice result for the Skittles. But you can always play around with that setting to see what your end result is as well. So we'll let this heat up to the 140 degrees, and I'll warm the trays for 1 minute. Alright, so now the machine will begin freeze drying our candy. The pump is on to the right here, and this will freeze dry our Skittles for the programmed 3 hours. So I'll come back for the next step once this has finished. Alright, now the process is complete, so it says to open the drain valve to vent. So before, when we closed it, we made it perpendicular. So we'll open it and turn the valve parallel. And that just releases the pressure inside of the unit. So we can do no defrost, start a new candy batch, or defrost. So I'll hit defrost. So now we can remove our freeze-dried Skittles. And once they're removed, I'll close the door, hit continue, and then the machine will defrost itself. All right, let's go have a closer look at our freeze-dried Skittles. All right, here are our 5 trays of freeze-dried Skittles. Aren't these fun looking? To me, they kind of look like pool balls or maybe croquet balls. They're really cute and they have a nice crunch to them with a super intense Skittle fruit flavor. So now what I'm going to do is I can remove these from the tray and I'll put them in. I have these 1.1 gallon Rubbermaid take-along containers with the lid. They store really nicely in those. Otherwise you can use a zip top bag or a silicone reusable zip top bags, or even a Mylar bag if you wanted to store away your freeze-dried Skittles. When I give these as gifts or as favors, I like to put a handful inside of a cellophane bag, put a little label on, and it's a really cute little tasty treat for people to have and enjoy. So let me put some of these into the container to store away, and I'll put some on a plate and we can have a closer look and a taste of our freeze-dried Skittles. All right, here we have our freeze-dried Skittles. These turned out really well. They're super cute, and when you bite into them, they have a really crunchy texture, and there's a super intense flavor of that particular flavored Skittle. And when you look at these red ones, I just think they look like a bobber for fishing. These would be really cute for a retirement party or something like that. Or even just having a bowl of this out on movie night or for a party or picnic. A little something fun and fruity and a sweet little treat, and they have a cute look to them as well. So if you've never freeze-dried candy, or if you're thinking about the freeze-drying process, you can do herbs and recipe ingredients and sweet treats and candies like we did today, as well as full meals. So it's really a versatile food preservation method, and I have a number of videos on the topic that you can check out, including a number of different candies that you can freeze-dry. So thank you for spending time with me today while we did this freeze-drying project where we made some freeze-dried Skittles. These are really tasty and they're fun, and they'd be really cute to have as party favors or on movie night or just because. So if you're interested in freeze-drying candy, or if you have a freeze dryer or not sure what else you can do with it, if you haven't tried out freeze-drying Skittles before, this is how they turn out, and I hope you give it a try. If you'd like more inspiration on other food preservation methods and techniques, you can check out my food preservation playlist. And if you're new to the channel or haven't done so yet, I would really appreciate you subscribing. If you enjoy this or any other video that you watch, please be sure to give it a thumbs up as well. I hope you're having a wonderful day. See you next time. Take care.